Move over to the hate list where Michael Pittman tops this group. I mean, it's quite this simple, Matthew. He's only got one game this season with more than 40 receiving yards. And also, this offense is better through the air with Joe Flacco. Anthony Richardson will be back for the Colts.
Yeah, he's played 3 full games with Anthony Richardson the first 3 weeks of the season, averaged 6.6 fantasy points per game. Almost 60% of his fantasy points this year have come with comeback player of the year, Joe Flacco at quarterback. Dolphins, by the way, not a great matchup. They've allowed the 3rd fewest fantasy points per game to opposing wide receivers. Michael Pittman outside my top 35 for the week. Josh Downs back at practice today, as was Trey Sermon. Be interesting to see Jonathan Taylor not spotted at practice today. We'll see how that running game plays out just while we're talking about the Colts. But Pittman on the hate list.
The Bills make the big move for Amari Cooper, Jay, but he makes the hate list. Tennessee is allowing the fewest yards per game this season to wide receivers. Also, Amari Cooper might need a week to get acclimated to this offense.
Yeah, there's a few things. One, he might need that time to get acclimated. 2, they're 9-point favorites anyway, so they're probably not going to be throwing a ton. 3, L'Jarius Sneed potentially learning to shut him down. L'Jarius Sneed missed practice yesterday, so we'll see what his status is, but regardless. The other thing, too, is Amari Cooper, I think it's probably going to be a good move and it's going to work out and he's going to be the best wide receiver on the Bills. He wasn't separating at all, and he's 30 years old now. So, look, he's probably going to be fine, but there is a chance that Amari Cooper isn't the same guy as well, which you need to be.
Outside my top 30 for the week, you mentioned L'Jarius Sneed in that Titans secondary. Only 2 wide receivers have scored at least 11 fantasy points against the Titans so far this year. They've allowed the fewest yards per game to wide receivers this year. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. It's a big game here. How familiar will Amari Cooper be with the offense he's just got there? There's a couple of things. They'll say, run a go route or whatever. There'll be a couple of basic things they'll put in. They'll put in a specific package for him. And I could see Josh Allen trying to force the ball to him to get him a score, welcome to the team kind of thing. But just given the matchup, given the fact that they're favorites, given the fact that he just got there, I'd want to wait a week. I want to see it before I'm ready to stick Cooper back in my lineup. Again, outside my top 30 for week 7.
George Pickens also outside your top 30, Matthew. The Jets are allowing the fewest receptions per game to wide receivers. Pickens' snap count has been very weird lately. Just not a good situation for Pickens.
No. By the way, since week 2, George Pickens is wide receiver 57 in fantasy points per game. He's got one game, Connor, with more than 11 fantasy points during that stretch. And wide receivers that have faced your New York Jets have caught a league-low 54% of their targets. Pickens just seems so inconsistent. He makes these brilliant plays, and then there's plays where you're just sort of And you have to wonder if that's what the coaching staff is seeing, where, he's getting asked about, why are you playing Calvin Austin over him? Why are some of these other guys? And Tomlin's dodging it, Arthur Smith is dodging it, but you just have to wonder, when you watch those games, sometimes it just, where's George Pickens?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Also, the Jets have a great pass defense, suspect run defense. So what do you think Arthur Smith is going to do?
Just run right at us.
He's going to run the ball.
Yeah,
he's
that's what the
begging.
Bills did.
He loves this matchup. It's his favorite matchup of the season, Arthur Smith.
49ers did it. The Bills did it. Pickens might not be playable in fantasy, but he's a great quote. I'll give him that.
Okay.
Yeah, he had a really, really great quote this week where he called Amon-Ra St. Brown a slot merchant. He said that's how you get Amon-Ra St. Brown's slot merchants that schematically get fed the ball.
What is George Pickens then? Occasional slant route to the house merchant.
Slot merchants drink for free, by the way.
By the way,
I love that. We love the slot merchants.
We love the slot merchants.
Josh Downs.
We stand with the sun god.
Yeah. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Downs, CeeDee Lamb plays a ton in the slot. We love all of them.
Cooper Kupp.
Jaden Reed.
Yeah,
Jaden Reed, phenomenal.
Listen, new friend of the podcast, Detective Drake London.
40% of the
slot
literally
merchant.
just
Reformed.
really talked about the fact that how moving to the slot on the definitive Drake London interview that we had on yesterday's show. Jay, I know you haven't had a chance to read it yet, but listen to it. I know you watch all the shows when you're not here. But he literally, or watch it. But he talked about the fact that him moving to the slot actually has opened up a lot of different things from they've been more creative for him. So yes, as a show, we are pro slot merchants.
We love the slot merchants.
The slot merchants drink for free.
Love a good slot merchant.
Yes, absolutely. By the way, that sounds like a bad Spin Doctors cover band.
Yes.
The slot merchants.
The slot merchants.
Yeah,
You're right.
They're like a local band at your local, hey, 2 for 1, it's flip night on Wednesday, and the slot merchants are on at 9.
They only play two Princes just over and over and over again. Yeah, that makes sense.
They feel like a bar band, like a college bar band, the slot merchants.
Yeah. Bad at music, good at PPR.
Yeah, exactly. But they're probably fun. They probably put on a fun show, and
They go on at 10 p.m. so the crowd's had a few drinks, so everybody enjoys
1000%.
the hits. Nothing but the hits.
Yeah, the Slot Merchants plays a lot of like 70s and 80s rock, I feel like.
We need
and maybe some 90s.
We need a drum right in front of our desk that says the Slot
Slot
Merchants.
Merchants. That's our band.
Yes.
Like a little stage right there where something like that. We'll figure it out. I'm going to talk to Pops. Pops, who does he does, he
does a great job with our set.
He does everything with Pops runs everything here.
The budget is what we need. That's
you know what?
You're out there listening.
Give me a second. Somebody out there is what you should do.
Yeah, take the second.
You know what?
Tom.
Start a band and call yourselves the Slot Merchants, and then that way you could just become the official band of the FF Happy Hour here. Like we don't have a band.
I don't think any fantasy show does.
Yeah, so we would be the first for that.
So we're open to it. Anyway, just if there's a cover band out there, or even it even has originals as well. I just don't think we can afford originals.
No.
But yeah, if there's a cover band out there called the Slot, or wants to form one, Slot Merchants. Open invitation to play here on Fantasy Football
First
Happy
ever
Hour.
built-for-purpose band for a fantasy football podcast.
No idea what they're going to play.
Somebody out there will do it. Somebody out there will. They'll be. Come on.
Somebody will
Where's
do
my
it.
Slot Merchants? Where are my Slot Merchants at?
Yeah.
And
see how this
by the way,
goes.
and their
Can of
fan
worms.
base can be the Slotties.
Oh, it's
the
pretty dangerous
Slotties.
nickname. Yeah. Yes. All right.
That's a nickname.
All right.
Where my Slotties at? Come on.
How about Tucker Kraft? He also
How
makes the
about
hate
Tucker
list.
Kraft?
He makes the
not
hate
a-
list because he only got one game this season
That's
with more
right.
than
He's
5
not
targets.
a slot merchant. He's not a touchdown merchant.
not a
He's not a
slotty.
target merchant. He's had one game this year with more than 5 targets. It's not a great matchup against the Texans. Houston allows the third fewest fantasy points to opposing tight ends. They allow a league low 52% catch rate, I should say, to opposing tight ends. Tucker Kraft outside my top 12 for the week. And that's saying something given how desperate that position is. But just tough matchup as well, and just feels like Jordan Love is looking elsewhere. Tucker Kraft, the definition of a touchdown-dependent tight end.
We move over to
Also, a good but not as good as Slot Merchants. Touchdown-dependent tight ends is a good band name, too.
Yeah.
It's not as good as Slot Merchants, but what?
TDTE.
TDTE, yeah. TDTE. I feel like they play like more synth pop.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
So
more
you're getting away
dance
from
music.
the 90s alternative?
Yeah, don't you
Okay.
feel like they're like
Synth pop.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what I feel like. I feel like touchdown-dependent tight ends. Well, the first band that popped in my head was Dance Gavin Dance,
Okay.
and the lead singer of Dance Gavin Dance was a big fan of my old podcast. Don't know if he's found us over here yet.
Did he make a song for the show?
He did not. We did have songs for the show from the old show, though. Eric Hutchinson, international recording superstar Eric Hutchinson, recorded theme songs for my old show. He was a
Something
big
we
fan.
could maybe work on in
Yeah,
year 4.
we love Hutch.
It's a year 4 thing.
We love Hutch. Maybe we'll get to. But anyway, the Slot
Everyone
Merchants.
knows
That's our
that's a year
band.
4 thing.
We just haven't met them yet, or know that they exist. But that's the show band, Slot Merchants.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.